I'm here too. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to our weekly live stream. This is our last live stream for 2018. Thanks very much for joining us. Today, we're going to look at a challenging grammar point. Today, many of you have asked about this, so we're finally going to talk about it live. The third conditional grammar point in English. We're going to use lots of example sentences, so I hope you participate in the chat a lot today so that we can learn and practice from your sentences. That would be awesome. I think Facebook and YouTube are working perfectly today. Yay! So send a message when you come into the chat. I see lots of you on YouTube. Hi, everybody. Arnaldo and Batista, Mark, Cyberguy, Enrique, Malik, Liz, Ahmed, Raimundo, Sabikun, 31 Atsu, what? Andy, lots of people. Hi, everybody. I think Facebook is on the way. I see the video. Hi, Wilmer, you're first on Facebook today. Hi, everybody. So please don't forget to hit the like button and share the video so other learners can find it. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. Today's topic is the third conditional, So this is a tough grammar point, but we use it a lot to talk about possibilities in the past and the future. Hi again, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. A couple of points, I guess. While we wait for others to join, one quick thing I saw earlier today. I tweeted about this earlier as well, too. There's a new compilation video on the YouTube channel. If you have not seen this yet, please check it out. This is 8 hours long. I was really shocked to find this on the channel, actually. This is 8 hours of just the Ask Alicia Q&A series with a focus on grammar points. So today's lesson is about grammar, but if you want to just play some background noise, or if you want to just listen here and there throughout the day, there's now an 8-hour video of just some of the videos in the Ask Alicia series over the last year. So please check this out. You can find this on the English Class 101 YouTube channel. That is a very long video. I was very surprised to see that, but I hope that that's helpful in some way for everybody. So please check that out. That could be a fun and interesting resource, so that's cool. Okay, we're about 3 minutes in, so I'm going to start soon. I'm going to share the video as well. Share, great, and I'm good, hooray. Okay, so I think a lot of people are here now. We're about 3 minutes in. So as I said, today we're talking about the third conditional, So let's get started. Aram on YouTube, first time live? Cool, excellent. I want to begin today's topic. So today's topic is the third conditional. As always, I have kind of made this lesson into 3 sections. We're going to talk about the 2 parts of a basic conditional sentence, which are the if clause, the main clause, those 2 points, and then I'm going to end by introducing some common example sentences, and I'm going to talk about some pronunciation points relating to this grammar. So let's get started. We have lots to do today. Let's begin over here. This is a really important part, I think, for this lesson to understand why we use this grammar. So the third conditional is used a lot to talk about past possibility or even present possibility, but we use it as well to talk about regret. So regret means something we're sad about in the past, something we were unhappy with in the past. So let's take a look at this part. So this is the first part, one part of a conditional sentence is the if clause. So there are 2 kind of basic ways I want to look at how do we make the if clause part. We use, for example, we begin it with an if plus your subject, plus we can use here had or hadn't, followed by the past participle form of a verb. So I'll explain this part, had and hadn't. So this positive had here, when we use a positive, when we're making a positive statement, this refers to an action that did not happen in the past. This did not happen in the past. So if you imagine this on a timeline where this point is now, the present, in the past, I've marked this in blue with an X. So this is a positive statement, yes, but this did not happen. This is an unreal situation. Did not happen. If, however, you use a negative here, if you use hadn't, if subject hadn't plus past participle verb, this refers to something that happened. This is true. This is something that actually happened in the past. So on this timeline, I've marked this with a red check mark to mean yes. So this thing actually happened here. So positive did not happen. Negative did happen. This actually happened. So please keep this in mind. This might seem like opposite to what you think, but this is an important point for this lesson. So as I said, we use this a lot to express regret because we want to change something about the past. So let's look at a couple of example if clauses to kind of illustrate this point. I'm going to move down to this part now, FYI. So let's go to the first example here. The first example part is this. If I had known. If I had known. For example, if I had known you were here, I would have brought you a coffee. Would be a long, full third conditional statement. So this part, if I had known, right here, we're going to zoom in just a second. If I had known uses this positive had, which I mentioned here. So this positive had, this means this did not happen. This is an unreal situation. So I did not know, in other words. But if I had known, so known is the past participle form of the verb know. If I had known, if I had known. So if I had known, that means I did not know something in the past. But I want to talk about the possibility if that had been different. Okay, let's look at the next example. If you had told me, if you had told me. Here again, I'm using a positive, had. My past participle form is told. So tell, the past participle form of tell is told. If you had told me, I could have helped you. If you had told me, I would have come, for example. One more. If we had heard. So I'm using a lot of this positive form. If we had heard. So here's past participle form is heard. If we had heard. If she had called. So I have all of these in the positive form. So these are all situations, these are all things that did not happen in the past. They're unreal, not true, unreal. But let's compare this to one really common negative expression, which is if I hadn't, if I hadn't. So this is the reduced form, the contracted form, if I had not. If I had not made a mistake. So made here, M-A-D-E, made is the past participle form of make, to make a mistake. But we need to change it. If I hadn't made a mistake, something would have happened. So I'm using the negative form, had not. According to this diagram then, this means this is something that happened. This happened. So that means I made a mistake in the past. But I want to say if I had not made that mistake. So if this had not happened, and then something else. So this is how we make an if clause with this grammar. So had or hadn't plus the past participle form of your verb. This is the first part and maybe the most difficult part for many people to making this grammar. So send me, oh, there's one example sentence on YouTube. Hi, Ramat. If you had told me about that new movie, I would have come with you to watch it at the cinema. Nice one. Nice if clause there. If you had told me. Abdo on Facebook. If you had told me. Had. So had is past, like we're using this had or hadn't. Had, hadn't. Not have in present. Had or haven't. So this is for the if clause. If clause is one part of today's grammar. So this is the first part of today's grammar point. If clause part. Masaya, hey, if I hadn't done such a thing. So do, our past participle form of the verb do is done. If I hadn't done such a thing. Or, very naturally, if I hadn't done that. Rama, nice. Yeah, you fixed it. If you had told me about that new movie earlier, nice. I would have come with you to watch it at the cinema. Great. Okay. Yeah, please send lots of example sentences today. I will try to check them all if I can. Junior. Hey, Junior. Nice question. Junior on the YouTube chat has a great point, actually. He says, I saw some people eliminating, which means removing, the word if, and saying, had I known learning another language was so important, I would have started at an early age. Yes, this had I known pattern sounds more formal. Today we're looking at a more conversational way of expressing this grammar. But yes, Junior, you are correct. It just sounds a bit more formal. Okay, let's take a break. So I'm going to take a break from our tough grammar point there and talk about this week's special thing for everybody, which is this. Some of you maybe have seen on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page our holiday specials this year. There was a lot, actually. There was something like every day for 9 days, I think. It was a lot. But the team made one more day for the sale, so please check this out. So there's a maximum of 60% off the subscriptions on the website. So that's like the premium and premium plus memberships on EnglishClass101.com. So you can, I think, get monthly accounts, or you can get a yearly account as well. So if you want to get some more study materials, so of course all our video lessons and like transcripts for lessons and a bunch of other tools for your studies are on the website. So if you're interested in that, please check this out. This link is below the video on YouTube and above the video if you're watching on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, please check it on YouTube or on Facebook. I can't see you over there, Instagram, but hello. Okay, so this is our special for today. Definitely check that out. Okay, with that being said, let's get back to today's grammar. If you're just joining, today is the third conditional, the English third conditional, a tough grammar point. We talked about the if clause at the beginning of today's lesson. Now we're going to talk about the main clause here. This is where we have a lot of flexibility, and this can really change the sentence. So if you haven't yet, send some messages, send your example sentences in the chat. Make sure to like and share the video too so other learners can find it. We appreciate it. Many of you are sending examples, so I will try to check. Gustavo on YouTube, hi, if you hadn't turned off the oven, the food would have been spoiled. Yeah, no regrets there. That's true. Nice one, nice one. If I had a big car, that one is a slightly different conditional. If I had a big car, maybe I could have arrived to the airport at that time. Okay, there's a lot of examples. If you had informed me, on Facebook, if you had informed is the past participle form there. Okay, I'll try to check your example sentences. There's a lot. Thanks, everybody. Let's move on, though, to the second part of today's lesson. The second part of today's lesson is about the main clause. So I said at the beginning of this lesson that to make a conditional statement, we need two parts. They are the if clause. Here we are. We need two things, the if clause and the main clause. So we talked about how to make the if clause at the beginning of today's lesson over here. Now let's talk about the main clause. So the third conditional can be difficult sometimes because the if clause is unreal and the main clause is unreal. So we're talking about situations that are totally not true, but we want to talk about possibility, or we want to express regret, or we want to talk about ways to change things, or ways we wish we had changed things. So let's take a look at some things that are very commonly used in the main clauses of these. They are would, could, and might. These are very common main clauses. I would have, or I wouldn't have. I could have, or I couldn't have. And I might have, or I might not have. So what is the difference? A lot of you ask, like, is there a difference between would and could? Yes, there is a huge difference between would and could. So let's use an example sentence. Oh, we don't have to move. It's fine. So let's use an example sentence like this. I talked about this earlier. If I had known. For example, let's use this part here. If I had known. So a simple if clause. If I had known something, I would have helped. So would expresses an unreal situation, but it's like saying will. So if this had been true, this was not true, I did not know, but if I did, if I had known, I would have helped you. So it's like saying your future action, but like an alternate universe kind of. So it's not a real action, but you want to talk about your actions, like how they would have been different in the past. If I had known, I would have helped. This is what we use would for. So this is a positive. If I used a negative, it means the opposite then. Something I had no plan to do, but it's an unreal situation. Savi-kun has a great example in the YouTube chat. Your if clause though, if I had known, no been there. If I had known about the channel before, I would have joined other live classes. That's a perfect main clause. I would have joined other live classes. Nice one, nice one. Yes, I can't read your name on YouTube. I'm going to go to could next. So would not uses the negative form, but we're using it to express like lack of a plan for something. Like if I had known, I would not have helped. So that means like will not, but for an unreal situation. So it's not true at all. So yes, let's go to could. Could. So what's the difference? So we talked about how would means like unreal situation and like a plan, like in that unreal situation, it's not true, but if it were, this is my plan. This is what I would do, or this is what I would not do. That's my plan or not my plan. Could, however, could refers to possibility. So only possibility. This means there's no plan, actually. Would is like a plan. I have a plan for something. I intend to do something. I'm going to do something. Could doesn't have that feeling of a plan. Only possibility. Only possibility. So if I had known, I could have joined you. If I had known, I could have joined you. That means there was possibility to join you. Like in this situation, there was a possibility to join. Okay. Oh, we have a question from Instagram. If I had joined the class before, I would have passed the TOEIC test. Oh, cool. Thanks for reading Instagram, Joel Disc. Woo. That's the first time ever. That's super cool. Nice. Whoever said that on Instagram. Nice one. Nice one. Okay. So I could have joined you. This is only for possibility. If I say I would have joined you here, it means my plan. Like my plan would be to join you in that situation. So it did not happen. But could only expresses possibility, only possibility. Is could past of can? Yes, but that's a different grammar point for today's lesson. Junior, nice. I could have won if I had been there. Nice one, nice one. Other things. Gebrekedan on Facebook. Hi, if I had known about the English class, I could have learned here. Yeah, I could have learned. So here I don't have the verb here, but we also need to use this past participle thing. So I would have past participle. So your past participle verb also needs to be used here. I could have learned as well. Okay. Yeah, I saw lots of you commenting about the live stream actually on the regular English channel live stream. Someone wrote, if the English 24/7 live streaming video hadn't turned off yesterday, I could have joined some chats in the live chat. Yeah, nice. Maybe that'll be back. I'm not in control with that. I don't know. Great. If I had studied, I would have succeeded. Make it passed. Herode on YouTube. I would have passed my exam. Great. Nice example. Let's move on to might then. I might have been able to work with you is my example here. I might have, in this case, been able to, or I might have joined you. So might is a little bit similar to could. So could is very neutral. It's like simple possibility only. Might is like saying, ooh, there's a chance. It's like a little higher than neutral. I might have joined you, or I might have helped you. It's like saying, maybe, kind of. Could is like super neutral. It's just possibility. Might is like expressing that there's a chance, a better chance than zero, like 20%, 30% chance in this unreal situation. Is might very polite? No, no. Might is just a neutral word. It's not formal or informal, really. Okay, so let's take a look at one more, a negative here. So if I had known, I wouldn't have left the office. If I had known, I wouldn't have left the office. So here, I did not know something, but if I had, I would not have left the office. So this means I did. I left the office. But if I had known, I would not have left the office. So I would have changed my plan. Yes, great examples. That is correct, Selva. Yes, we are using the past participle in both clauses here with the third conditional. So we're ending this part, this main clause part, with a past participle verb. That is correct. Great. Okay. I don't see other examples yet. So I'm going to take one more break, and then I'm going to finish today's lesson with some examples that I hope you can use right away. And I'm going to talk about some pronunciation points that a lot of you have asked about. So let's do that. Let's take a break. Phew. If you missed it earlier, today, the special that we have for this week, if you missed it, our team made a bunch of really exciting, I think, holiday deals on our website, on the English Class 101 website, and they have it for one more day today. So there's a maximum of 60% off the subscriptions on the website. So there's like monthly and yearly options. If you would like to get more study materials, video and audio lessons, and other tools to help with your studies, please check this out. So you can find the link for this if you're watching on YouTube below the video. The link is in the description, not the chat. And if you're watching on Facebook, it's above the video. Watching on Instagram, check out YouTube or Facebook. So check that out. We're going to finish today's lesson then by going to this last part down here. So some common examples. So I'm going to talk about some pronunciation points. So if you're just joining, thanks very much. Please do send your example sentences today, and make sure to like and share the video too so others can find it. Okay, let's look now at these common example sentences. So I've created a few here. It's a little hard to see. Maybe if you make your video big, maybe you can see it a little bit more clearly. I don't know. So it's kind of small. Sorry, my handwriting's small. I had lots to write today. This part, let's look at this first example. So here is my if clause. Let's read it first. If I had known you were coming, I would have bought more food. So imagine there's a house guest, a surprise house guest. If I had known you were coming, I would have bought more food. So let's break this down then. This, if I had known you were coming, this is my if clause. If I had known you were coming. So as we talked about, we have our had, my subject. If I had known is my past participle verb. You were. This is another important point. When you're using this unreal grammar, you need to use you were, not you was. So please be careful. A lot of people ask about using were and was. If you were. So if I had known you were coming, here's my main clause. I would have bought more food. I would have, so here I'm using would have. Bought is my past participle form. I'm using a comparative here too. More food. So more food than I bought actually. So if I had known you were coming means I did not know you were coming. But if I had, this would have been my plan. I would have bought more food. So some pronunciation points here. This part, if I had known, we reduce this actually in speech to if I'd, for one. If I had reduces to if I'd. If I'd known. And then this you were sounds kind of like you were. You were is sort of how it sounds. So at native speed, I would say if I'd known you were coming. If I'd known you were coming. That's how it sounds at native speed. Over here then, I also make reductions in sound. So I would have, this is a really good pronunciation point actually. If I had known you were coming, I would have becomes I'da. If I'd known you were coming, I'd have bought more food. I'd have bought more food. So this d equals would. And this equals have. I would have reduces to I'd have bought more food. So if I'd known you were coming, I'd have bought more food. That's how a native speaker would say this sentence. So this is a great pronunciation point to practice, I think, that I would reduces to I'd, and I would have I'da. Okay. Oh, that's a weird comment. Okay. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's go to the next one. You said, if we had had more time, we could have done better. So this one, if we had had more time. Here's my if clause. My if clause, if we had had. This is correct. Yes, there are two hads here. Why? Had is the basic had we use to create this grammar. And this had is the past participle form of the verb have. So I have time. I have no time. That expression, I want to make it in this form. If we had had more time, that means we did not have enough time, in other words. If we had had more time, we could have done better. We could have done better. So here I'm using could to express simple possibility. We could have done better. So again, pronunciation points. If we had had more time, this if we had had reduces, again, if we'd had. So my subject here is we. This reduces to we'd. If we'd had more time. If we'd had more time, we could have done better. So this could have, in the same way as would have reduces to Ida, we reduce could have to coulda. We could have done better. So native speed would be, if we'd had more time, we could have done better. If we had more time, we could have done better. Good. All right, let's go to the last one because time is going quickly. So finally, this one. If I had studied, so here's my past participle. If I had studied harder, so here I'm using a comparative form, yeah? This means if I had studied harder than I did. So I don't think I studied very hard, in other words. If I had studied harder, I probably would have passed the test. This is a useful point right here. If I'd studied harder, I probably. So this is modifying would have, probably. So there's a high chance that in this unreal situation, I would have passed the test. So in native speed, if I'd studied harder, I probably would have passed the test. This probably reduces to probably. Probably is what it sounds like. We do not spell it probably, but it sounds like that. I probably would have passed the test. I probably would have passed the test. Okay, so these are just a couple of examples that we can use. I wanted to talk about more, but there's no time, so we'll finish with that. So, that is a quick but hopefully useful introduction to the third conditional, a challenging grammar point. I think we're gonna zoom back out to regular view here to finish today's lesson. Eric Smega on YouTube, if we had practiced more, or if we I would say if we had practiced more, we could have won the championship. That would sound good. What about the comma? Nice question. Comma separates my if clause and my main clause. I've separated it. So in this case, if clause first, comma, main clause. So the if clause is acting as an introductory clause, and so my personal preference is to put a comma after introductory clauses. If your main clause is first, main clause then if clause, you can remove it. You can omit that one. Okay. Other things. If I had a party to go to, I would not have been here. If I had a party to go to, I would not have been here. Josue? Yeah, nice one on Facebook. That's great. Let's see, other points. Okay, I see no other examples, so we'll finish there for today. So, I hope that was helpful. If you missed today's lesson, please don't worry. It was recorded, so you can watch it on Facebook or on YouTube. So, if you have other questions, please send them in the chat. I will try to check them and answer them somewhere else. That's it for today. So, today is actually our last live stream of 2018. So thank you so much to everybody who joins us every week and sends comments and likes and shares. We couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much. That's awesome. For the holidays, we are going to take a 1-week break, and we will be back in the first week of January. So please join us again for our next lesson on January 2nd. That's Wednesday, January 2nd. It's January 3rd, depending on your time zone. But January 2nd, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or January 3rd at like 10 or 11 in the morning, if you're like 8 in some Asian time zones. We'll be talking about explaining your goals, how to explain your goals. So I'm going to talk about this with a little bit of like consideration for New Year's resolutions and things like that. So we'll do that. I hope you all have a happy and safe and healthy holiday season, and you enjoy yourselves over the break. Thanks as always for liking and sharing the video. We all really appreciate it. And don't forget to check out the holiday deal, the last day for the holiday deal this year. The link is below the video on YouTube and above the video on Facebook. So I'll finish there for today. Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your year, and we'll see you again in January. Bye-bye.